This is the Extra Point Podcast from Arizona's family.
All right, off we go on week 8 of the Arizona high school football season. Mark McClune, Jose Garcia from AZ Preps 365. I can't believe it's already week 8. I think it's week 8. Is it week 8?
I think if we're talking about the small schools, yeah. Big schools, 6, 7 or so.
Yeah.
It's my favorite time of the year, by the way.
Yeah.
You
what?
know, it's
Playoff baseball, high school football.
High school
it's
football
crunch
right around the
time.
corner. 70
Yeah.
degrees and sunny.
Yes.
You know?
That makes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that 4-season type of guy. I don't care if the leaves change color or not. I just wanted 70 and sunny all year long.
And you know what? You can shoot up north to Prescott. You can go up to Flagstaff, get your leaves, come back down here, and enjoy the nights in the high school football. So we have a busy week of small school high school football, a lot of very important games. But first of all, let's talk power rankings, because that's what everybody's talking about when it comes to the open division and who the top dogs are and who's getting in. What do the power rankings look like this week?
So this week, in order, Chandler, number 1, Liberty, Hamilton, Pinnacle, Basha, Castile, Centennial, and Corona. Obviously some movement. Again, we had some teams drop out, some new teams join in there, some surprises as well. But it's going to be like this all the way through the end, Mark.
And I'm not seeing defending Open State champion Saguaro on there. That's got to be a big story in Arizona high school football.
Indeed. Right now they're sitting at number 9 on the outside looking in. They've got, I think, a couple games still left to play. Pinnacle being one of the big ones they have as well. That's, I think, going to ultimately determine if they make it. And then, on Friday they play Highland as well.
Yeah.
So they have to win out in order to make it. And that's the way it's looking so far for them.
Well, and number of injuries for the SaberCats, and it's kind of like one of those deals. You shock the world, you rise up, and then all of a sudden everything that went right for a season isn't going right. Was talking to some folks at the Suns game last night whose sons are on the team, and they just said it's been one injury after another, one thing after another over there, but still a lot of season to play.
Indeed, and they're getting healthy too. Zacchaeus Cooper, very talented running back who got injured last year. It's starting to play now as well. So they're getting some pieces back in the mix.
All right, so we'll be out there on Friday night. Do you know where you're going yet on Friday night?
I will be at Glendale High School. Yuma Catholic.
Bagpipes.
Indeed. So
Can you get us video of the bagpipes?
Yeah, I might put on the gear and play on myself, so stay tuned for that.
Do you own a kilt?
Off the record? Are we live right now?
Live to tape, yeah.
I might have one or two. You never
know. There we go. Jose Garcia, a man with a kilt, a man of international mystery. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite Arizona high school football things is the guy with the bagpipes in Yuma Catholic. And Glendale is a team that's been kind of on the rise, and in the last couple of years, you've been like, oh man, they're going to the playoffs here. How are they looking?
And I got to mention the fireworks as well. Like Glendale High, I haven't seen a high school every game they have a fireworks show, so I'm definitely going to go check it out. Rob York has done a great job. They've struggled this year, which has been surprising to me. So I want to go find out what's going on with Glendale. They had made it to the semifinals last year, so we'll find out. And then obviously Richard Saltworth last week became the state's all-time leading touchdown passer as well. So that's another angle to go to. And then Jackson Jones, who just got offered by USC, the edge rusher for Yuma Catholic, another big type player there. I want to go check out. And Rocky Starworth, Richard's brother, who had the game-winning touchdown last week as well. A lot of Starworths out there at Yuma Catholic, including the father.
That's exciting. I mean, and you think about a couple years ago, if a guy in Arizona gets offered by USC, that's a huge deal. Now it seems like it's happening routinely.
Left and right, yeah. And then for a 3A school too, Mark, which actually a 4A school, I should say, because last year they were in 3A. You don't often get those offers at that small level. So this might be, I think when it comes down to it, the biggest offer a Yuma Catholic player has received.
Is he going to take you seriously wearing a kilt?
He better. He thinks he's a stud on the edge. You haven't seen me in a kilt yet.
All right, shoot video of that if it happens.
No.
All right. So let's go. So let's hop on the AZ Family AZ Preps 365 school bus here. So we're in Glendale High in the West Valley. We're gonna go out to Gilbert. We got Saguaro, Gilbert, Highland. Kind of talked about it already, but that's a game that could shape the power rankings here.
I think the team that loses this one is out of the open discussion, to be honest with you. So, there's only a couple of games left. So, yes, this will have big-time open division implications. And also, this is going to be a big physical game. Highland brings it year in and year out on when it comes to the physical side of things, and I think you might need a ice bath or two after you play the Highland Hawks, because what Brock Farrell does over there, very ball-controlling offense, very tough on both sides of the ball. It's going to be a tough physical game, and obviously, as you all know, Saguaro has the explosive players like Jaden Matthews, like Derek English, and, of course, Devon Dampier at quarterback.
Yeah, I think the SaberCats are going to get it right. Are they going to get it right? It's a hard game, actually, to get it right against, because Highland's a team that isn't in the open division, but yeah, they always bring it, and they've had this one circle on their calendar.
Indeed, and Highland, despite the loss, gave Hamilton a good run for their money as well. So I'm expecting them down to the wire type game as well in this one.
Interesting. Well, we'll be out there on Friday night in the varsity zone. So staying in Gilbert, AZ College Prep and American Leadership Academy, Gilbert North. It's a big matchup in 4A.
Yes, the top-ranked teams in the 4A conference, and this is going to be the biggest regular season game in Arizona College Prep's short history. This is going to be big time for them. This is going to determine, I think, who gets the number 1 seed probably.
Oh, wow.
So keep an eye out for that. Myron Bluford has done a great job out there in Arizona College Prep. Yeah. And everybody forgets, that's a Chandler District school, by the way. They were 3A school, but they've been moving up. And, it is a Chandler District school.
And so they have played. We've been out there before. Do they have their own home stadium, or are they at one of the Chandler schools? Okay.
They used to play at a high school, junior high school. That's where it all started, and now they have their campus. I think this year was the first year that they made the big debut for that field.
They had a playoff game, I feel like, at Chandler a couple years ago.
Yeah, they did.
We had the chopper overhead, and the newsroom asked who was playing at Chandler, and I said, well, that's obviously not Chandler. And then we had to go look in the brackets. This is before we were doing high school football, and it was like, oh, AZ College Prep is playing a playoff game there. So that's very cool. Now they have their own field.
Yep, on Gilbert Avenue out there in Chandler. So go check them out if you have a chance. I got to send a shout out to Randy Roystorf, the ALA Gilbert North coach, because they were in 3A. Here they are, ranked number 2 in 4A this season, and looking like they might end up with a home playoff game. Brandon Phelps, linebacker Zach Morin's averaging about 14 tackles per game.
14?
14,
wow.
Yeah. Their offense gets a lot of the attention, but Zach's doing a wonderful job in middle linebacker for them. ACP's Kane Gibson, speaking of defense, 16 sacks already in the year for them.
16 sacks in the year?
Yeah, on the year.
That's got to be approaching some sort of state record, though. We're going to have to dig in.
Yeah, I think he was the Arizona Cardinals Player of the Week one time, and I think there was the first 3 games he had like 4 sacks in each of his 3-4 games.
Do you have the official record book that we could look up by year sacks, or do you know offhand whoever's made a run at sacks in an individual year?
Unfortunately, I know we don't have a sacks record when it comes to it's something that we need to I'm putting it down right now on the list.
There we go. Yeah.
It is something
right, live on the air.
Yes.
Yes.
So Mark's, holding me up to it, and not only the kilt, but I'm gonna have to look for the sack record as well. So I know what my homework is for next week.
Jose, why are you wearing a kilt and digging around old box scores from the 70s?
Yeah, you guys don't want to know what I do after high school football season.
Hopefully take a long break, but we have a lot of good action to talk about with the playoffs. But so let's go up to I guess the Verde Valley. Is this the Verde Valley? Prescott Bradshaw Mountain is
Prescott
that the next one?
Valley, I believe. I could be wrong. By
Prescott
the way.
Valley. Okay.
Right. Yes.
So that's Prescott. Okay, yeah, because the whole Gilbert Road and Chandler kind of threw me. So this is Prescott Valley, but it's in the Verde. It's kind of at the Verde.
Big rivalry.
It's always football 30 in the Verde. Yeah.
And that's a good one.
Yeah.
A big rivalry. Prescott at Bradshaw Mountain. One of the big things, the neat things about this rivalry is that after the game, the winner gets a trophy that's dedicated to the Yarnell 19.
Oh, that's awesome.
The 19 firefighters that were lost in the Yarnell fire. These two programs, in my opinion, the winner of this one wins the Grand Canyon region. This is how important this game is. You've got the preseason Grand Canyon Region Player of the Year favorite in Cody Leopold, who does it all on offense and defense for that team. And then you've got Bob Young, the legend over at Bradshaw Mountain, who's approaching 200 wins. So a lot is on the line when these two meet, and that's going to be the case on Friday night.
All right, and then you're going to Glendale for Yuma Catholic. Thursday night football. This is going to be fun. Not the Cardinals and the Saints. If you can't make it out to the West Valley, stick in the East Valley. You've got 2 teams that are ranked right now in the top 8 in the Open Division standings.
Yes, and the big story coming into these two, Beckham Pellant is the new quarterback now over at Hamilton High School. Rob Chalosky got injured a couple weeks ago, but Beckham has done a fabulous job since taking over. I think he helped beat Highland there at the end. Had more than 200 passing yards last week, so keep an eye out for him. And Basha's doing some soul searching after losing Liberty 2 weeks ago, and they've had plenty of time to think about what happened and what unfolded in the game. So we'll see what team comes out against Hamilton tonight.
So how will this impact the Open Division standings? Kind of back to our top story, and just as we kind of look at this week to week, how important is this week?
Not only in the Open Division rankings, but in the Premier region as well, because this is going to determine a lot who ends up winning this region. I still think even if the team loses this one, they're still going to be, if they win out, will be in the Open Division tournament. These two teams were top 3, top 4 when the season started. And if you look at it, they're top 4 right now in the Open Division rankings. But it is going to play out in terms of where they're seated in the Open Division tournament.
Interesting. So you think as far as Chandler, Liberty, Hamilton, Pinnacle, Basha, Castile, Centennial, and Corona del Sol, they all could lose this week and still kind of keep their spots?
I wouldn't say so. I think we've seen the movement toward the tail end of the Open Division ranking, so we'll see what happens with Castile, Centennial, Corona del Sol. There might be some movement there. There's still some games to be played. So it's not all set in stone. And when the power rankings, you can't. You can think you know what's going on, but no, that's not the case.
You think you know,
but no.
But you don't know.
No.
All right. But power, of course, the Open Division power rankings we're talking about are for the big schools,
Right.
and the playoffs will start pretty soon. What, in about 3 weeks?
Yes, sir.
3 weeks. Okay. So, but
actually, for 2A and 3A, I think we still have like a month left to be played for 4, 5, and 6A.
Okay, a month there. So 3 weeks, 2A and 3A, and then 1-man and 8-man football. That kicks off starting Friday.
Yes. If you have not checked out 8-man football, go to it. High-scoring games. They remind me, if you haven't seen it, and I've always said this, some of the best open field tacklers are in 8-man football.
Yeah.
They remind me of calf ropers. And I don't know if you've seen the calf ropers wrap the legs and then they have their hands up. That's how these 8-man football players are. After they're done, they're just, hey. And it is. You got to applaud every tackle that they make because there's so many points that are scored in 8-man football. The Fab Four, Hayden, the number 1 seed, looking for his first title in 50 years. Williams has won a couple of titles in recent years. Mogollon is a 2-time defending champ. And St. David, get this, Ryan Gooding, the quarterback, 73 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. So
73?
73. And that's not even a record, Mark.
Wow.
Yes, so
that's not even a record?
No, that is not a record for 8-man football.
What is the record?
I think there was a kid named Love over at Baghdad who has actually the national record.
Really?
Over 100. I forgot what it is.
Wow.
But,
well,
yes.
you're going to need to put on your kilt and go into the AIA archives. Jose, why are you wearing the kilt again? I got to look up record. It's a thing that we developed here in the Extra Point podcast.
Yes. I see it. It's
the
over
end of our career was a long time ago.
Yes, it was. A long time ago, but this is pretty much going to put the bow on.
That's all right. Yeah. Hey, just people need the visual of Jose and his kilt looking up records. So what do we were at Baghdad. We were at the record book.
Yes.
And the 73 touchdowns. So what else we got besides that on
We've got, let's see, Perry, I believe, has a big game going up against Castile, I think.
Yeah.
So Joseph Ortiz does a fabulous job there at Perry High School, first year. If he can get a win against some of these big ranked teams, who knows? They might be in the open discussion. But even I think they're in the Premier region. Even if they have a losing record, I think Perry will be there in the playoffs. And Castile still in the open division discussion for sure.
Interesting. Okay, so we got Mountain View, Chandler. Those are that will be well attended. Mountain View. Last I heard, Jack Jermaine was injured, the quarterback. Do you know if he's back or what? What should we expect in that one? Because I think Chandler, it's just a formality for Chandler at this point, right?
I haven't received an update on the quarterback situation there. But speaking of quarterbacks, quarterbacks left and right. Joe Jermaine, the head coach, former Super Bowl champ, Ohio State quarterback. Rayola over at Chandler as well.
He is something. Yeah.
So that's going to be obviously the focus of that game on Friday night.
All right, Brophy Pinnacle. Pinnacle is a team that's in the Open Division standings right now. maybe Brophy goes up there and rises up. Pinnacle's been a team that's really just been steady, just been real steady.
Don't overlook Brophy. I know they have a losing record, but there's coaching talent, there's player talent on that team, and they can pull off an upset the rest of the season. Pinnacle, the story of them. If there is this team that people are talking about, a big surprise in the Open division, it is this one. It is their top 8, but with Dana Zupke there. Such a fabulous coach. Every year in, year out, they make it at least to the quarterfinals. They have a couple pieces. Everybody knows about Deuce Robinson and Elijah Page on the offensive line, but you need more than 2 players, and I think we've seen that develop with Pinnacle. Wyatt Horton, the quarterback, the sophomore, crafty, manages the game, can run as well. And then Jacoby the Rock Rucker, 5'7", about 205, 210 bowling ball when it comes to a running back. Another kid to look out for. So they've got more than just 2 pieces on this team, and I will not be surprised at this point. They still have Saguaro. They still have Centennial. I'm not surprised if they'll make it to the Open tournament at the end.
Interesting. Now, something to definitely keep an eye on. Also, in the big schools, Queen Creek, Red Mountain, we got a battle of the East Valley right there.
Yeah, Kyle Enders in his first year over at Red Mountain, the job that he's done, former player there, I think former defensive coordinator for Red Mountain, doing a good job of keeping that team in the playoff discussion when it comes to 6A. And Mr. Travis Sherman out of Queen Creek High, nothing but respect for what he does in that program. Another team that just brings it on both sides of the ball, very physical, very tough, and another game after you're done, you're going to have to take an ice bath or 2 or 3 after you play Queen Creek.
A lot easier to sit here in the studio and just talk about it than actually go out there and play.
Yeah, we have it easy.
All right, so you're going to be out in Glendale this week for Yuma. Bring your bagpipes, bring your kilt, and we'll see you back here next week.
Yeah, I got to hang some Halloween lights as well, by the way. So.
All right, if you know a guy, Jose's looking for a guy.
Somebody, please, you
can hand out his candy, too, for him. He's going to just go watch football.
Yes, I have my cane and the kilt.
The Extra Point Podcast is a production of 3TV, CBS5, and azfamily.com in Phoenix, Arizona.